the circle. We're set here to start. First pitch, 6:55. This is the pink out game for Oklahoma State. Limbaugh, a sophomore, leading off, hitting .356. Limbaugh, no strikes. 1-1 the count. So we went downstairs between innings, and a mad rush for the T-shirts that are they're passing out for pink out. It's pretty awesome. The fans are packing into the stadium here for game 2. 1-1 ground ball. Bloodworth charging to first in time. 1 out. How difficult is that play?
Extremely difficult, and Megan Bloodworth played it perfectly. She charged that ball off the bat, knowing how much speed that Limbaugh has down the line. Just got it on the hop, threw it over the first base right away. It's a great play.
Linda, the right fielder, steps in. And if it was 0 for 2 in game 1, everyday starter out there. What's different about the right side of the stadium here, Cowgirl Stadium, is the sun is brutal on that right side.
It's horrible over there, and at this time of day, being at second base, right field, and first base, it's so hard to see.
Edwards makes the hop and the play. 2 down. 2 batters, 2 ground balls.
Exactly, and Ivy Rosenberry, another one of those pitchers for Oklahoma State who keeps the ball in the lower half of the zone. 67.6% of the balls hit off Ivy are grounders, so that just shows you how effective her drop ball is.
Lyric Moore, senior, steps in. From California, hitting .299, 22 RBIs. Hit a ball to right, scored a run in the first inning of game 1. Probably the most impressive thing I saw from Moore was the pickoff, throwing back behind a runner at first. And that was kind of late in the game. 1-1 count to Moore. Ground ball, Davis to first. 3 up, 3 down for the Jayhawks in the top of the first. And so we head to the bottom of the first scoreless. You're watching Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
When severe
lineup, Poulard, Edwards, Wong, Godwin, Davis, Tim Wark, McDonald, and Bloodworth. McDonald, the hot hitter out of game 1 with 4 RBIs. She went 2 for 3. And in the circle for game 2 for the Jayhawks, Lizzie Ludwig.
Lizzie Ludwig is just a sophomore. She had a couple of good outings against Texas last weekend, kind of held off their offense a little bit. She's going to throw down in the zone with her drop ball, which she throws in the mid-60s, and then she will also use an off-speed pitch, which comes in the low 50s, so a big speed differential there.
So leading off for Oklahoma State, Poulard. Defense here for the Jayhawks. Limbaugh, Price, Linda, Flanagan at third, Kripe up the middle. The second baseman in game 2 is Tatum. Bagshaw at first, Moore behind the plate. Ludwig in the circle. Kansas 27 wins, now 11-11 in Big 12 play. Cowgirls picked up magic win number 40, which is a standard in the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 40 wins. It's kind of a mark that everybody really talks about. You get to 40, you're a postseason host type program. 2-2 count. So this is the 4th consecutive year that Oklahoma State has hit the 40-win plateau. If you take out COVID, this is the 5th consecutive. So since 2020, Oklahoma State has hit the 40-win mark every year.
So impressive, and that's just become the standard at Oklahoma State. Is if you come play for Oklahoma State, you're going to get some wins because that's just what they do here. And it's just amazing to have that so many years in a row, have that consistency of being a top program.
2-2 pitch, ground ball. Ludwig to first. One down. Pretty good at bat by Poulard to end that way. It's tough.
Yeah, good job by Ludwig there. I felt like Poulard was just trying to pull that outside pitch, and when you do that, you usually end up hitting weak ground balls to, you know, the middle or right half of the field.
It's going to bring up Talon Edwards at third baseman, 3'11" hitter. Outside for ball one. Edwards from Moore, Oklahoma. 5 homers, 27 RBIs. Oh, 1 pitch. 2-0. So, you know, here's the thing about Edwards. I mean, we know she can hit the ball well, but defensively, she makes some wild-type plays at third.
She's been showing out at third base this season after her freshman year where she played in the outfield the whole time. It was an amazing transition for her to move over to third base and just be so solid over there.
Tatum makes the play at first. Bagshaw, nice stretch. 2 quick outs. Ludwig has gone over 22 innings this season. Part of the big 3 pitchers for Kansas. Wong steps in. So Wong hitting .377. She was 1 for 2 in game 1. Walked twice. Outside, 2-0. The wind is still blowing out to left center. Fans packing the social behind the outfield. 2-0 pitch. Line to third. Flanagan makes the catch for the third out, and we're scoreless here in Stillwater as we head to the top of the second. This is Big 12 softball on ESPN+. Conferences with 6 honorees and a little timeline on that. We'll announce the top 10 on May 9th. Finalists announced on the 23rd of May, and the winner will actually be announced on May 28th. So a lot of things happening next month for that group. First pitch to Kripe, low for ball 1. Haley Kripe, sophomore, shortstop, hitting .296. Made a lot of plays in game 1. Rosenberry outside, 2-0. Both pitchers early trying to establish the zone. See what home plate umpire Dirk Sorensen, kind of where that zone settles in.
Yeah.
Sorensen behind the plate. Haven Hill at first. And Bloom at third. 3-0 count. Rosenberry steps off. So Kripe has 6 home runs, leads the team with 34 RBIs. That's ball 4, runner at first. And both pitchers, and the name of the game is limit your walks, limit the free passes.
100%, especially to start off an inning, to get a leadoff walk is huge for an offense because it just, you know, gives you that base runner, gives you some room to maybe sacrifice, move runners over, get runners in scoring position. So you definitely want to keep the ball in the zone as much as you can.
Rosenberry jumps ahead of Bruno with a strike. Make that 2, ahead in the count 0-2. Bruno hitting .208 and seeing the ball really well coming into this series. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. That'll be the first strikeout of the game.
Ivy Rosenberry uses, I believe that's her cutter on the outside corner, and that ball moves so much and just gets the batter to swing through that one.
Bagshaw up, the first baseman. 1 ball, no strikes. Kripe on at first. Campbell Bagshaw, sophomore. 3 homers, 30 RBI. Game 2, big swing and a miss. Talking game 1 about the momentum that happens when you win game 1. And for Kansas, how quickly you have to try to recover and get that game out of your mind. It's critical that Kansas tries to jump back in this game. And they were ahead early in game 1.
Yeah, they came out pretty hot in game 1, got some runs on the board, put pressure on the defense, and ever since then, Oklahoma State has just gotten going. But like you said, it's really important to have such a quick failure recovery after that loss. You just want to learn as much as you can and try to make adjustments as quickly as possible in game 2. You can't really, let that loss linger, or else you're just going to have bad energy going into game 2.
Oklahoma State has now won 6 straight. Cowgirls have scored 51 runs during that stretch. Confidence-wise, winning game 1, the Cowgirls are in pretty good shape. 2-2 pitch fouled off. So Kansas knows they're going to have to upset Oklahoma State on the road. And it's a tough challenge, but when you get an early lead, you're going to have to keep it. You're going to have to compete and not allow Oklahoma State to kind of get in a rhythm. It felt like Kilfoyle was able to get into a rhythm. I know Ivy's trying to settle into that here early. But at the plate, Oklahoma State started changing their approach, going with some pitches, getting a couple of base hits, and it just became contagious. Good at bat from Bagshaw. 2-2 pitch, low, full count. Nice stop by Wong behind the plate. Fair amount of Kansas blue in the stands today. Pitch fouled off. What's it like to play at Cowgirl Stadium?
It's so much fun. The fans here are amazing. They're so loud, and they consistently show up for Oklahoma State softball. It's one of the most fun environments I've ever been a part of, I've ever played in, so it's just awesome.
It's a strikeout, throw him out, and that'll be a double play to end the inning. Nice throw by the catcher Wong to retire the side for Kansas, and Oklahoma State Kimberling for Kansas, and what a difference she's made on this staff.
Yeah, it looks like her short time at Kansas has just proved to be so beneficial for the pitching staff. ERA is down, and I think that's a big reason why Kansas is having so much more success this season.
Right now, Kansas has a couple of great pitchers that they've relied on with Ludwig in here. We've yet to see Katie Hamilton, and then obviously Brooks did a nice job in game 1. So she's putting together a staff and consistent players and getting the new coaching, and I think they're responding well to her. Leading off for Oklahoma State, Godwin here in the bottom of the second. Freshman, ground ball. Kripe to first. 6-3 put out. We'll bring up Rosie Davis, the second baseman. We talked about those 2 freshmen a moment ago. Davis, the first game, was 1 for 2 with a run scored. So consistent. 1 out. It's called strike. Davis from Tennessee, hitting .344, 7 homers, 27 RBIs. 0-1 pitch, ground ball. Back to Lundwood. 2 down. It's the second ball that we've seen right back to the pitcher.
Yeah, it looks like Ludwig is really establishing her off-speed pitch early in this game. And she throws that pitch in the low 50s. That's a huge speed differential coming from the mid-60s all the way down 15 mile an hour to the low 50s. So it looks like Oklahoma State is just really early on those pitches and getting it right off the end of the bat.
The called strike. Tim, a .321 hitter. Fast. Puts the ball in play. 1-1 count. For Ludwig, you're talking, she was part of the 2023 Big 12 All-Freshman team. Ground ball to third, Flanagan to first in time. So 1-2-3 for Oklahoma State, scoreless. We head to the top of the third. You're watching Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
I guess very, laid back, fun to be around.
Great pickup for Oklahoma State. Did you know among the active NCAA career leaders, Caroline Wong is tied for 4th in all of college softball for most games played. She's played in 254 games in her college career.
Super impressive.
Leading off for Kansas, Tatum, 1-1 count. Just 254 games. That's unbelievable. She's tied with Jada Cody from UCF. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. She also has 51 career homers. That's tied for 22nd nationally. One of the best in the game right now. 1-2 pitch, outside, 2-2. So for the last 10 games, Ivy Rosenberry has a 4-1 record, a 2.36 ERA in her last 7 appearances. That ball's lined to right center. That's going to be extra bases for Tatum. And that'll be a stand-up double to lead off the third.
Emma Tatum smoked this ball into right center, a little elevated in the zone. She's able to turn on it, get her barrel to that pitch, and drive it all the way to the wall and start up this innings.
Runner in scoring position for the Jayhawks. Flanagan steps in. The hot hitting Price on deck. To the bottom of the lineup trying to produce here in the third for Kansas. Flanagan hitting .143 from Morrison, Oklahoma. Excited for her to get this opportunity. Pitch in there, 1-1 the count. Tatum, good speed on at second. No outs. Almost expected Flanagan to put the bunt down to get the runner to third. 1-1 pitch. Ball hit to right. McDonald can't come up with it. That's going to be a base hit. Runner will go to third. A tough play into the sun. Ball at your feet.
Yeah, good job by September Flanagan kind of going down, getting this pitch into right field. And that is a tough play with the sun in right field, runners on and nobody out.
Officially ruled an error. E9 fielding. Tatum reached third. Price at the play. That ball gets away from Wong. The runner scores from third to make it 1-0 Kansas. Flanagan advanced to second on the play. The toss back to Ivy. High. Runner was able to slide under. Price at the plate. And Price in game 1 3 for 3 with an RBI. A runner at second in scoring position right now. Kansas ahead for the second straight game, 1-0.
Yeah, usually we see Oklahoma State jumping on and getting those runs early in the games, typically scoring first, but Kansas now has done that twice, and they're setting themselves up well for the rest of the game.
Kyra Aycock warming up. Lexi Kilfoyle throwing in the bullpen, so a couple of pitchers getting loose out there as Oklahoma State coaching staff out to check on Ivy Rosenberry. Looks a little bit more than just settle down talk. They'll take their time here. Kansas getting production from the bottom part of that lineup.
Yeah, the bottom part of that lineup, like Price and Flanagan with that hit, Emma Tatum getting it started with the double. That's what they're going to need if they want to get a bunch of runs up on Oklahoma State.
Nice shot of Coach McFalls. Price. Price has played a lot of games at Kansas. Right there during the rebuild process. Angela Price from Greenwood, Arkansas. Greenwood High School. Kenny Gajewski looking down at the bullpen. See where we're at. We might end up having a pitching change, which leads me to believe something happened or injury or something to Ivy Rosenberry. But a big delay here in the top of the third. And Ivy will be replaced here by Kyra Aycock. The sophomore will come on as looks like we may have an injury situation as Oklahoma State will have a new pitcher here in a 1-0 ball game in the top of the third. We'll be back. Your schedule, you need all your pitchers healthy, so you can look at the last couple of pitches here from Rosenberry.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what that could be, but definitely a little scary for Oklahoma State and Ivy Rosenberry. We hope that she's okay.
For Oklahoma State, you're looking at Kyra Aycock, and what an opportunity this is. I mean, the door's wide open to step up and prove what she can do. She had a good freshman year. 0-2 pitch. Low, 3-0.
Yeah, and it's also tough because it didn't seem like Kyra Aycock or Lexi Kilfoyle were prepared to go into this game. Ivy Rosenberry was doing so well. And so,
you know, ball 4.
Might have to try to warm up mid-game.
Usually a pitching coach comes out to buy you a little time, and I mean, there wasn't even the game. They just immediately had to go down to the bullpen. So with that walk and the pass ball, I guess the runner advanced to third, Flanagan. So runners at the corners now with no outs. Got back to the top of the lineup in Limbaugh. From Cooper, Texas, 356 hitter. 16 RBIs and a couple big runners on base right now. Two and 0. So Aycock trying to find that zone here early.
Yeah, in Kansas, the offense doing a good job being selective. You know, with a new pitcher coming in and kind of knowing that situation, you're not going to be aggressive.
The runner still second. Throw down, cut off by Aycock. Kenny Gajewski having a few words with home plate umpire. I often wonder the chess match between the coaches and just how they try to influence the game early. he obviously has something on his mind because he came down and talked with Dirk Sorensen at home plate and then went to Brandon Bloom at third, and he's still fired up. One of those old... Oh, and he's going to the showers the first time that Kenny Gajewski has been tossed at home this season. And he's going to get a little bit of time here with the home umpire Sorensen. And whatever he said on the walk-off obviously got the job done. So Kenny will watch the game from the clubhouse the rest of the way.
Wow, yeah. Never seen that before, so that's a little... Well, I just want to know what happened down there, you know?
Not sure what he was fired up about, but he got his point made. 3-0 count. Aycock in the circle. Question is, who's making the calls now for Oklahoma State? Coach Shippey took the clipboard, and Kerry Eberly in the dugout, pitching coach, so should be fun the rest of the way. Again, every game at this point in the year is extremely critical.
Definitely. Especially getting closer to postseason and the selection process. It's very important each game. And in the Big 12, you know, both teams fighting for that RPI and their records, just a lot on the line.
Limbaugh steps in. Aycock, 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, so back-to-back walks. So the Jayhawks have bases loaded in the zone with a new pitcher. Changes. Trying to establish that. So Linda steps in with bases loaded. Jayhawks trying to break this thing open. No outs. Pitch high.
Love to see the infielders, Megan Bloodworth and Rosie Davis. Every single pitch that Kyra Aycock throws, they're coming closer to her. They're encouraging her. They're giving her that support that she needs in this moment. This is a huge moment for her. Bases loaded, no outs, and her defense just making it known that they're there for her.
2 balls, no strikes. And the Aycock pitch, 3-0. Again, no place to put her. Conversation, early reports with Coach Gajewski is a delayed getting into the box. The Jayhawks were slow getting into the box. It could be delay a game there. 3-0. Ball 4. That'll walk in a run. You mentioned it early. You can't afford the walks. That's back. That's 3 consecutive walks for the Oklahoma State pitchers. As Kansas now has 2 runs in this inning, lead 2-0. Getting to a tough part of this lineup for Kansas.
The heart of the lineup coming up for Kansas. It's really important to just try to get the ball in the zone. There's no place to put Lyric Moore, so you're going to have to pitch to her. But still got to know that there's plenty of time left in this game. And if they could get some balls in the zone, get some outs.
For Kansas, you're looking for timely hitting. Bases loaded, no outs. Drive the ball, put the ball in play, and make something happen. Moore, the senior at the plate. You had a pitcher that's walked 3 straight. You're probably taking all the way at this point.
For sure. You're going up there taking until they at least throw you 1 strike, because clearly Kyra Aycock is struggling to find the zone right now. I don't know if maybe her warm-up got cut short. She kind of had to just go in on a whim there with Ivy coming out unexpectedly. So definitely a tough situation for Kyra Aycock and the Oklahoma State pitching staff.
Katie Kuntz, the freshman, warming up. ball 3. Bases still loaded. Aycock having a hard time finding the zone. 3-0 pitch to Moore. In there for a called strike. Little surprised that Wong didn't go out and talk to Aycock as a senior and try to see if you could calm her down a little bit in the first couple batters. Moore stepping in, trying to break this open. Ball hit to right. That's going to be a base hit. RBI. Bases are loaded. 3-0 Jayhawks.
Yeah, good job by Lyric Moore here. She was waiting for a pitch in the zone, and she got one, kind of just flared it out into right field and able to bring in another.
Sophomore out of Indiana. Pitch outside, ball 1. There's almost play at the plate. I don't know if you saw that ball, that runner at third was slow to come home. 1-0 pitch, low, ball 2, 2-0. Defensively, you look out there and you had 3 consecutive walks followed by a single. There's a strike, 2-1. Aycock trying to find the zone. 3-0 lead for the Jayhawks. Big swing and a miss. 2-2. Off-speed pitch. And a lot of both these teams aren't used to playing doubleheaders. So here they are in game 2, trying to compete. Big swing and a miss, a strikeout. That's a huge out for Aycock.
Exactly. It looks like Kyra Aycock kind of found her off speed and used it a couple of times low in the zone, getting Kripe, a big hitter for Kansas, to strike out. That's huge for her. Going to give her some momentum going into Olivia Bruno, another really good hitter for Kansas.
So this is going to be a pinch hitter, 99 coming up. Purvis, the senior, Addison Purvis, a senior out of Missouri. Played at Mississippi State. And 1 out. Purvis off the bench. It's a called strike. Aycock ahead in the count. Purvis, obviously limited at bats. 1-1 count. Hitting .216. Does have 10 RBIs. Ground ball up the middle, past Davis, 1 RBI. That's 11 and 12. And that's a 2 RBI single, making it 5-0 Jayhawks here in the third.
Yeah, good swing there on a low pitch. She takes it right back up the middle. Rosie Davis, good effort on that. That was almost a tailor-made double play for the Cow.
Bagshaw up. Still only 1 out. Kansas has scored 5 on 3 hits. 0-1 pitch. This is what you have to do if you want a chance to beat a good Oklahoma State on the road.
Exactly. Kansas, and we can hear their dugout from up here. They have so much energy right now. They're really putting it on Oklahoma State, making it difficult for them in this situation.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Trying to keep that energy up and when you have opportunities to score runs in bunches and try to get things going, you have to take advantage of it. That's a strikeout. The second strikeout of the inning for Aycock.
Yeah, Kyra Aycock coming right back, using her drop ball, getting a huge strikeout. Just a good job by her after that single, to come right back and get a strikeout.
Ground ball back up the middle, Aycock to first. And the Cowgirls get out of the inning, but Kansas jumps up 5-0. We head to the bottom of the third. You're watching.
Presley Limbaugh, Campbell Bagshaw, and Haley Kripe all just so good for Kansas. Haley Kripe, we've seen her just have an offensive explosion this year and just a staple at shortstop. So a bright future for all three of them and for Coach McFalls and her team.
No doubt. And Kansas in a great spot here in the bottom of the third, up 5-0. Oklahoma State at the plate. Michaela Wart. The nice thing for Oklahoma State, it's only the bottom of the third, so a lot of the bats left. And at this point, you just start chipping away. And you have the power and the athletes to climb back into this. 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Popped up. Wind blowing it back into fair play. Linduff makes the catch. 1 down. That'll bring up McDonald. Had 4 RBIs in game 1.
Yeah, so far in this game, the Oklahoma State offense has come out a little bit flat. I think they just are giving up too many at-bats. And as you can see, Ludwig only has 22 pitches so far in this game. Just 1, 2, 3 innings back-to-back. So if Oklahoma State is going to try to compete in this game, they're going to need to make her work a little bit more and swing at some better pitches and barrel up some balls.
0-2 count now to McDonald. Over the last 5 games, McDonald came in hitting .556 in the last 9 at-bats. So red hot, and that continued in game 1. McDonald, a right fielder for the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. 1-2 pitch, change up, hit to short. Kripe has it. The first in time. 2 down. It's the 5th ground ball for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and the Kansas pitching staff just doing what they do best, roll out ground balls to their shortstop, Haley Kripe, who has just been so sure-handed for them, so solid for them this year. Ludwig using her drop ball and off speed to get a lot of ground balls so far in this game.
Megan Bloodworth, shortstop. 6 ground balls for Ludwig. 2 outs. Cowgirls looking for their first hit of the game. Bloodworth in that first game was 1 for 3. Pitch on the way outside. Just wonder what the strategy will be at this point for Kansas, up 5-0. How long Ludwig will go, because Oklahoma State hasn't seen Katie Hamilton so far. 3-0 pitch in there for a called strike.
That's a good point, but Ludwig has done so well so far in this game as well. So, and they have a lot of room to kind of work with. They do have 5 runs on Oklahoma State, so if she starts getting hit a little bit, I'm sure they'll take her out. But for now, Ludwig is kind of rolling, so I would keep her in until Oklahoma State starts to get some things together.
3-2 count. Bloodworth competing. So far, it's been pretty good at bat here. 3-2 pitch, fouled off. Oklahoma State looking for base runners at this point. Three-two pitch, ground ball, Kripe over the first. In time for the third out, 5-0 Kansas. You're watching Big 12 Now on ESPN.
Huge reason for the success of the Oklahoma State team, because the pitchers, Ivy Rosenberry, Lexi Kilfoyle, Kyra Aycock, all of them throw a lot of drop balls and just roll out ground balls to Megan Bloodworth and the rest of the infield. So her being so solid over there has just been amazing for this team.
Took a lot of ground balls, and she makes a lot of hard plays look easy.
Definitely. She just takes so much pride in her defense, and that's something that she really just values so much, works on every day, and it's paying off for sure.
Aycock still in the circle for Oklahoma State. Starts off with a strike to Flanagan. September Flanagan, 142 hitter, reached on an error and scored a run. Last inning, pitch on the way, low, 1-1. You played with Bloodworth. How was she as a teammate?
An amazing teammate. She's actually one of my closest friends that I had on the team last year, and just so optimistic. Every time you see her, she has a smile on her face, and just one of the nicest, most awesome people you'll ever meet.
She started in 22. She started her career at Alabama and then transferred in here to Oklahoma State. So you guys would have come into the program together.
Yeah, and that was something that I think really bonded us. You know, me and her both coming into a new program together and being on the infield together. We just hung out all the time on the dirt and just really had a close bond.
3-1 pitch, a big swing and a miss. Full count to Flanagan. Price on deck. It was the bottom of this lineup for Kansas that started the rally in the top of the third. Resulted in 5 runs. Ground ball. Aycock snags it out of the air.
Good start to the inning here by Kyra Aycock to field that ground ball, get the quick first out. It's a good job by her to come back after that last inning and just that leadoff out.
Angela Price, the center fielder, digs in. Talk about get out of that inning, get back in the dugout, recenter, kind of recalibrate, and then go back out there. Looked like a different pitcher here in the fourth. Heading the count 0-2. We'd love to see the way Carrie Eberly works with the pitching staff and the time they get in the dugout. 0-2, ground ball. Edwards to first, 2 down. Back to those ground balls.
Yeah, another really nice play by Talon Edwards today. She's been so solid over at third base and just fields that ball. Knows she has a little bit of time, so she takes that shuffle and makes a perfect throw over to Carly Godwin.
So the first real coaching move, per se, since Kenny Gajewski has stepped out, with Vanessa Shippey coming in to talk to home plate umpire about the shift. As Tim will come in and play right about second base. Limbaugh up. Two outs here. Top of 4. Ball. Shadows starting to fade away as we have the lights on here at the stadium. Another good crowd. 1-0 pitch outside, 2-0. The atmosphere and the fans continue to come out and support this team. And there's a lot of plans for a new stadium to support the overwhelming need and want. There's a waiting list for tickets here in Stillwater.
Yeah, the fans here just create an amazing environment for the Cowgirls, and I think that's why they play so well at home. It's just that fan support means so much.
3-0 pitch in there for a strike. 3-1. You can see the pink out. It's the Stillwater Medical Center and the Stillwater Cancer Center passed out, did the sponsorship to pass out pink t-shirts here for game 2. Pink out. 3-1 pitch in there. Full count now to Limbaugh. How much, Oklahoma State down 5-0. A lot of the fans in shock because Oklahoma State has such a great home record. But to bring those fans into this and bring up the energy level, that ball's foul.
Yeah, Kyra Aycock, just such a drastic difference from the last inning. She's competing so much better in this inning, actually putting the ball in the zone and making Kansas work hard to get on base.
Ground ball, snagged again. Aycock gets out of the inning. 3 up and 3 down for the Jayhawks. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Oklahoma State trails 5-0. You're watching Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
For their pitchers, but a great start so far for Lizzie Ludwig.
Bunt attempt, foul. Top of the lineup due up for Oklahoma State, and Poulard, Edwards, and Wong. Just expect this offense to start kind of doing something, get back in this ball game. 0-1 pitch outside, 1-1.
I think that Oklahoma State knows at this point in the game that it's not over for them. They've scored plenty of runs in the past, and that they just need to be confident and make some adjustments at the plate.
1-1 pitch, base hit to right. Poulard starts it off, runner at first. And that's the first hit given up by Ludwig in this game.
Yeah, nice job by Jillian Poulard here on this pitch. Kind of over the heart of the plate, and she gets around on it a little bit, able to squeeze it through the 3-4 hole.
So runner at first brings up Edwards. Sophomore. 292 hitter. Grounded out to second her last time up. Pitch outside. Poulard, not much of a chance to steal. Only 3 stolen bases this year. Pitch low, 2-0. And you have to watch for the arm of Lyric Moore behind the plate.
Yeah, we saw Lyric Moore pick somebody off at first base in the last game, so I'm sure that Jillian Poulard is keeping that in the back of her mind.
Ground ball to first, foul. Cowgirls trying to get something going here in the 4th. Game 2 of a doubleheader. Big 12 softball action. 2-1 pitch popped up. That'll stay in play. Shortstop Kripe calls her off and makes the catch. 1 out. Nice play by the shortstop.
Yeah, and good pitch by Ludwig. She threw that off speed a little bit up in the zone, and not a good pitch for Talon Edwards to swing at, because not only was she out in front, but she kind of lost her barrel there and just hit a weak pop-up. So good job by Ludwig on that pitch.
Caroline Wong, line drive up the middle, base hit. The second hit of the inning for Oklahoma State. 2 on now with 1 out, and that'll bring up the freshman Godwin.
Oklahoma State kind of getting some life, making some things happen. Caroline Wong, first pitch, steps up, being aggressive, right back up the middle. Nice job by Caroline Wong to keep this inning going and provide them some more momentum.
2 hits now. Just kind of feel it for the Oklahoma State offense. Outside, 1-0 the count. Katie Hamilton warming up, as is DeRoche, who pitched in game 1. Off speed in there for a strike, 1-1. Godwin trying to find something she can drive here. And on the season, she's hitting .333. Outside, 2-1. Great discipline at the plate. Couple of big RBIs sitting out there. Two and one. Outside. Okay, 3-1 pitch.
It's pretty clear that Carly Godwin isn't going to see anything on the inner half of the plate from Lizzie Ludwig. They're just pounding her away and probably just hoping to get her to try to pull something outside.
Godwin thought that was ball 4. Change up in there, full count. At this point, you're looking for a base hit. You got Poulard on at second. Full count pitch, off speed, big swing and a miss, a strikeout for the second out. And Ludwig.
Yeah, great pitch by Ludwig. Her off speed, as I said, comes in the low 50s, so it's very slow for that change of speed, and it kind of comes in higher, so it looks like a really great pitch to swing at, but drops into the zone and gets Carly Godwin on that one.
It's the first strikeout of the game for Ludwig. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Rosie Davis steps in. Davis back at second base today. .346 hitter. 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. We talked between innings and how long they're going to let Ludwig continue to work through this lineup as Oklahoma State's coming around for the second time here in the 4th. 2-0 pitch. Ball hit to right. That's a base hit. Poulard on the move. She's going to try to score on the single and does. Ball gets away from Moore, and the runners will advance to second and third. So Oklahoma State is on the board with a run-scoring single by Rosie Davis.
Great piece of hitting here from Rosie Davis. This pitch is on the outer half, and she waits back perfectly, drives that ball through the infield. So they're just going to have to keep piecing and chipping away at that 5-run deficit.
Nice bit of base running for Oklahoma State as that ball got away from Moore to be able to advance to second and third here with 2 outs. And it's a 5-1 ball game. Hamilton warming up in the bullpen for KU as McFalls is out talking to her defense.
Yeah, Coach McFalls, I'm sure, just wanting to break up the momentum a little bit for Oklahoma State. We've seen them get some back-to-back hits in the first game and really just start to pour the runs on when they get going. So a good time for her to go out there, give her pitcher a little break, and talk about how they're going to attack Claire Tim.
Tim over 1 on the day. Ludwig at 50 pitches now. Came into this game and only pitched 22 1/3 innings. She's got 4. She's got 3 2/3 right now. That first pitch outside, ball 1. Ludwig was actually hurt early in the year, but got healthy and has come on late. 1-0 pitch on the way. Ball lined off the glove of the first baseman, and that'll be a base hit. Make it a double, and a 2 RBI double by Tim, and Oklahoma State is crawling back into this. It's 3-5.
Great swing here by Claire Tim. This ball on the inner half. She's able to open up, get her barrel to that pitch, and I think it hit off the glove of the first baseman.
That's this offense, though. All this is with 2 outs. And Oklahoma State comes storming back into this game. Michaela Wark, the DP, at the plate. Hitting is contagious. And everybody trying to jump in here in the 4th. 1 ball, no strikes. Off-speed pitch outside. We know that what Oklahoma State is capable of. With 54 runs in the last 6 games. You're never out of it when you have the bats like Oklahoma State has. That's a called strike inside. Tim with speed at second base.
The Kansas Jayhawks had to know that Oklahoma State wasn't just going to lay down and let them run through this game. They're going to fight, and Kansas is just going to have to respond back.
Strike 2, 2-2. Wark being selective up there. That'll be a good 2-strike hitter here. 2-2 count. And popped up. That'll go to left. Limbaugh makes the catch for the 3rd out, but Oklahoma State crawls back, picking up 3 runs. It's 5-3 Kansas as we head to the 5th.
They have together.
Aycock got Kansas to go 1-2-3 in the 4th. Starting to settle down here. At the plate, Linduff, the right fielder for KU. Oklahoma State picked up 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th to make this a 2-run game. Pitch on the way. Outside, 2-0. Linduff 0 for 1. With a walk and an RBI. Pitch in there, called strike. Defensively, you have people behind you, so you're looking, put the ball in play, let them help you out. 2-1 pitch, ground to second. Davis stays with it, gets the out at first.
This ground ball was smoked off the bat of Linduff, and Rosie Davis did a good job shuffling her feet over, getting in front of it, knocking it down, and just...
Lyric Moore steps in. It's 5 consecutive ground balls. Maycock. Catcher Moore. And ball, no strikes. Make that 1-1. Moore on the take all the way. 50 pitches now for Aycock. One, fouled off. Rachel, that was almost your ball.
I know. Going straight back up here.
.78 degrees in Stillwater. Beautiful night for softball. 1-2 pitch, high, 2-2. Again, doubleheader today because of expected rain tomorrow. And then game 3 will be played on Sunday. So 1 o'clock starts Sunday, and it will be senior day for the Cowgirls. 2-2. Line to first. Godwin has it. 2 down. Right at Godwin. Nice play. Didn't have to do much. I mean, right
yeah, didn't even have to move. Those are the best ones when you're just standing there and all you got to do is catch it.
Cripe up.
But yeah, Kyra Aycock, just a totally different pitcher out there on the mound than we saw a couple of innings ago. She just looks so much more confident and composed on the mound.
A ball hit to center. Perfectly timed to get by both the infielder and rolls to center. That'll be a base hit. 4th hit of the game for Kansas. Ball wasn't hit all that hard.
It seems like she kind of got that one off the handle and just barely squeezed it by both the middles.
Purvis.
A good effort out there by Rosie Davis trying to get that out.
Ground ball. Bloodworth to first in time to retire the side for KU. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Kansas leads 5-3. This is Big 12 softball on ESPN standings. Looks like OU, Texas, Oklahoma State, and Kansas. And a lot of softball left to play in the regular season, and a big one matching up for next weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure the entire softball world is looking forward to the Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma matchup. That is always such a fun Bedlam series to watch, so I'm super excited.
Conference tournament just a couple of weeks away down in OKC. Well, the Cowgirls not looking to leave the state here as they wrap up the 2024 season. McDonald at the plate, 0 for 1. Grounded out to the shortstop Kryper first time up. 8-9-1 due up for the Cowgirls. 1-1 pitch outside. 2-1. McDonald hitting 345. Three and 1.
And Lexi McDonald is one of those hitters who was kind of in and out of the lineup earlier in the season for the Cowgirls, but she's just been coming on so strong lately. She's one of the hottest hitters in this lineup. She has such a good eye up there at the plate and just is such a tough out every time she comes up.
It's the second time through the lineup for Ludwig. It's a hitter your second time up. I mean, obviously, you've seen her before. You're getting in there. Any adjustments you made, typically your second time at the plate?
Yeah, your second time up, you have that advantage of having some information on how they attacked you your first time up, and you know what the pitcher's pitches look like. You know what her off speed looks like, and you just have a better idea going forward of what you're going to see and what your plan of attack is.
Bagshaw fields that at first. 1 down. Bloodworth up. Such a great hitting team. Just, it's amazing how Ludwig has been able to keep them off balance for the most part. The bunt. Moore able to jump out there and make the play to Tatum at first for the second out.
Megan Bloodworth trying to drop a quick bunt there.
Little discussion with the umpires. Waiting to see if they're going to try to review it or if they're calling it good. Runners out. So 2 outs on the board. back to the top of the lineup for Oklahoma State with Poulard. Take a peek at this one, the bunt. Oh. When she drops it, looked like
Defense sleeping, try to get something going and make them make a play on you. So good idea there, but it looks like it just hit the bat again.
nice camera work by our crew to get that shot. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch outside. 2-0. Poulard actually had the first hit of the game for Oklahoma State in the 4th. Base hit through the right side. Trying to stay hot here in the 5th. 3-0. Couple of quick outs for Ludwig. And just a sophomore. Ball 4. And the runner's on. That'll bring up Edwards. Katie Hamilton quickly heads out to the bullpen. See how long the leash is here for Ludwig. Get late in this game.
And that was just Ludwig's first walk of the game, so she has been very effective keeping her pitches on the corners of the zone and not giving up any free passes besides that one just now to Jillian Poulard.
We'll have a visit to the circle. Just a 2-run ball game. Starting to feel the intensity increase here as we're getting late in the innings. This will be the 3rd time through the lineup for Oklahoma State.
And as a hitter, you definitely feel confident going into your 3rd at-bat off a pitcher. You've seen her stuff, you know what she's got, and you just have had 2 at-bats now to evaluate on what you've seen and what you're looking for in your next at-bat. So the more and more that the batters face Ludwig, the more likely they are to start barreling up more pitches.
1 ball, no strikes. It's 1-1 count. Sure, Kansas trying to save Hamilton for game 3, but with a 2-run lead here late, trying to steal this one, see if he can win the series. On Sunday, that's a ball driven up the middle. That's a base hit by Edwards as Poulard will take 3rd, and Edwards will run to 2nd on the backside. So a base hit ends up with runners at 2nd and 3rd.
Talon Edwards takes this outside pitch and drives it back up the middle, and I love the aggressive base running by Jillian Poulard. She's speed to take 3rd, and now Oklahoma State with 2 runners in scoring position. They're in a good spot now.
This is the murderer's row that you want for Oklahoma State with Wong and Godwin coming up. And the top hitters, 28 combined home runs, 19 doubles, and both have more than 30 RBIs. So this is your time.
Now it looks like they're just going to put Caroline Wong on first base. Not a bad idea for them. Caroline Wong just being so consistent for the Cowgirls, and with so much power, you don't want to risk giving up a 3-run home run at this point in the game.
So Wong's going to pick up the intentional walk. Pitch 75 now for Ludwig. Big moment for the freshman Godwin. Getting ready to come up.
Yeah, and Carly Godwin, I know, is just out on that on-deck circle, just so excited to get up to the plate.
Nice move by Vanessa Shippey to come down and just have a few words for her to kind of break that edge.
Yeah, I definitely want to calm her down a little bit. As a freshman, you kind of get amped going into such a situation like this. But, you know, just calm her down a little bit. She has been so good for Oklahoma State, so solid, so much power. So just excited to see what happens.
See Lyric Moore, the catcher, trying to rally the troops for Kansas here with 2 outs, and then fans, everybody starting to get a little antsy here in Stillwater. Down 2, but bases are loaded. Godwin versus Ludwig. Bottom of 5. Off speed, outside, 1-0. Just looking for something to drive. 39 RBIs already. The 1-0 pitch to Godwin outside, 2-0. Nowhere to put her. Davis on deck. Davis had an RBI single her last time up. It's Carly Godwin time right now. 2-0 pitch. Ground ball to third. Flanagan boots it. Goes down the left field line. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. And Wong around third. She'll score 3 RBIs. And Oklahoma State has taken a 6-5 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. And Godwin puts the ball in play.
Yeah, Carly Godwin finally got something on the inner half of the plate. This pitch a little elevated. That's exactly what she's looking for up there.
Godwin comes through. It's 6-5 Cowgirls now in the bottom of the 5th. Looks like we'll have a pitching change for Kansas when we come back, but not before the double RBI, 3 RBI double by Godwin. 6-5 Cowgirls right now. You're watching Big 12 Now on ESPN+. And Oklahoma State has a 6-5 lead. It's led to the pitching change. First pitch outside, ball 1. Rosie Davis at the plate. And what a clutch hit by Godwin. Pick up the 3 RBIs.
Exactly, and that whole sequence, just Jillian Poular with the walk, Talon Edwards with the single, Caroline Wong, just piecing it together with 2 outs. That's huge clutch hitting, and just for them to be able to string all of that together with 2 outs is amazing.
Rosie Davis hoping to continue it. She has an RBI single already today. Godwin sitting at second. 6-5 lead. The Cowgirls have taken over here in the bottom of the 5th. Outside, 2-1. It's a hot shot by Godwin down to third. Flanagan tried to make a play. Almost pushed it down into that left field corner. Wong was on her horse all the way from first to score. Two 2-1 pitch, fouled off. You hear this crowd wake up now late in the innings. Here in the 5th, Oklahoma State coming through with big hits. Everybody's starting to wake up. Hamilton looks in, 2-2, outside. Nice stop by Moore. That ball bounced in there.
Yeah, Hamilton does have an effective changeup. She usually throws in the low to mid 60s, but her changeup comes in the low 50s. That's a really big change of speed there. So that's one of her main pitches that she uses to keep hitters off balance.
Rosie Davis fouled that one off above her eyes. Stayed alive though. You like the high pressure situations. Out on the line. That ball hit to right center. Price tracks it, makes the catch. And Oklahoma State is done in the bottom of the 5th, but not before they pick up 3 RBIs on a double by Godwin.
Just playing a huge part in keeping Oklahoma State in this game.
Looks like a couple of defensive changes for Oklahoma State. Warsup takes over and left. And there'll be a pinch hitter. Bizarre pinch hit. She had a pinch hit opportunity in game 1. Senior from Wichita. Hitting for Bagshaw. Fouled off. Behind in the count, 0-2. So Aycock has settled in. Lexi Kilfoyle warming up in the bullpen. See how Oklahoma State plays this in a 1-run game. The Cowgirls have been fighting their way back this whole time. Finally have a 6-5 lead. Ground ball to short. Bloodworth makes the play, 1 down. And that'll bring up Tatum, second baseman. Got Tatum. What do we got here? We're going to try it again. No, we're not. Sharing information.
Yeah.
So 1 out. Pitch to Tatum. Outside, ball 1. When they go back and talk to them, what kind of information are you really sharing?
Usually you're just telling them, you know, what you're seeing up there, the spin, or if she's trying to attack you a certain way, throwing, you know, a lot to the outside corner, you're just going to share that. Or just kind of, if you could pick up any sort of tendencies in the pitcher, say like they're tipping their off speed a little bit, you would tell them that. Just anything that you pick up, you're going to want to tell everyone on your team and try to help them out the best that you can.
Nice play by Poulard in center. That ball right at her for the 2nd out. That'll bring up Flanagan. 0 for 2 on the day.
And Kyra Aycock just you can tell just by looking at her face, she looks so much more calm in the circle this inning, knowing that her offense has her back. And even though she gave up some runs, they came right back and just are picking up their pitcher.
One count, 2 outs here in the 6th. Pitch on the way, fouled off. Flanagan on the day reached on an error and then hit into ground ball. Weak roller back to the pitcher. 0 for 2 with a run scored. Did score in the 3rd. And the 1-2 pitch. Rolling inside, 2-2. I love the pep talks that Wong's giving Aycock before they head out each inning. 2-2. And that's a strikeout to finish it off. Aycock picks up the big strikeout. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 6-5 count.
Another 3 RBIs and bring Oklahoma State back in this game.
We're in the bottom of the 6th as Tim lines out for the first out. We'll bring up Michaela Wark. Coach Vanessa Shippey Fletcher running the show for Oklahoma State at this point. 6-5 ball game. Wark steps in. Casey Hamilton, the senior pitcher. She has 86 strikeouts this season. Outside. She's 10-12 on the year, but has been the go-to for this Kansas squad. Trying to keep this game close as KU heads to the top of the 7th, trailing 6-5 here. Ooh, pitch inside, hits Wark. Runner at first.
Hamilton just has so much break on her curveball coming from the left side, and it looks like this one just moves a little bit too much into Michaela Wark and gets her on the Evo, I think.
McDonald due up. A little pinch runner. Scotland David takes over at first. I had the privilege to watch the OSU Max feature on Scotland David a couple days ago. Unbelievable family story. Just gal that's fought through so many things, and perseverance, toughness, and just a tremendous story.
Exactly. Scotland David, just one of those people that you don't come by often, and has meant so much to this program, and her family is just such a huge part of Oklahoma State softball.
McDonald up, 0 for 1 the count outside, 1-1. So Scotland David, a senior. Oklahoma State will have senior day on Sunday, 1 o'clock first pitch. John Smith will be throwing out the first pitch for Oklahoma State, the legendary wrestling coach that just retired. So it'll be a big day for Oklahoma State. That ball line foul. 1-2. Oklahoma State will honor 5 players and 2 managers at senior day. Always fun. Should be a nice day here at the ballpark. Game will be broadcast here on ESPN+. Scotland David on at first. 1-2. The count with 1 out. Pitch on the way. Outside, 2-2. The game has got close. The fans back and forth. Always fun. Hamilton, 15th pitch, off speed, and a strikeout.
Love this pitch from Hamilton. Her off speed is so much slower than her hard stuff. It just fools batters and gets Lexi McDonald to swing way out in front of that pitch.
It's Hamilton's first strikeout of the day, her 87th on the season. We'll have a pinch hitter here in Katie Lott. So Lott will hit for Bloodworth. Lott's seen a handful of pinch hit opportunities this season.
Yeah, Katie Lott is just one of those amazing hitters that Coach G and the rest of the coaches just have on the bench, and just such a good pinch hit opportunity for her. She is so good in these high pressure situations, and there were so many times last year as a freshman she kind of got thrown into some high pressure situations and just continuously came through for Oklahoma State.
She only has 48 at-bats. She's hitting .250. She does have a double, 2 triples, and 2 home runs. The ball fouled off. Some pretty nasty changeup that she got McDonald swing on. Watch Lott kind of teeing up off that fastball and rise, and you know she's maybe setting up that change. Oh-2 pitch on the way, outside. 1-2. Wouldn't shock me if Game 3 is Casey Hamilton game Sunday. 1-2 outside. Nice stop by Moore. 2-2. This Oklahoma State offense, 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th, 3 in the bottom of the 5th, 6 runs total, 6 hits. They lead 6-5 in the bottom of the 6th. Big swing and a miss. That's the second strikeout of the inning, and we head to the top of the 7th in a 1-run ball game. You're watching Big 12 Now on ESPN in a 1-run ball game, and for Kansas, 9-1-2 due up. And that's where they want it to be. I mean, look at the recap as we sit right now.
Yeah, Kansas with 4 hits and 5 runs, and Oklahoma State 6 hits, 6 runs, and Kyra Aycock back out there in the circle, trying to shut Kansas down in this last inning.
Kyra Aycock show again. Kyra came on in relief of Ivy Rosenberry, who was pulled, we believe, well, we don't really know, but we assume off injury early on. Aycock down behind in the count, 2 balls and no strike. Here's a nice shot of Rosenberry. Seems fine, but Aycock has done well after settling in. Ground ball, Godwin, 1 down. That'll bring up Limbaugh, the left fielder.
Huge first out for Kyra Aycock, getting Price, who had that big 3-for-3 game in Game 1, and just getting that leadoff out is a huge deal in this situation.
1 out. Limbaugh up. Coach Kenny Gajewski, this would be win number 100 in the Big 12, his Big 12 career, kinda. He's got tossed today, but he'll still get credit for the win if the Cowgirls can hold on. 1-1 the count. Oklahoma State looking to win the series. Set up a big Game 3 on Sunday. Aycock looking in, 1-1 pitch. Called strike.
2 really good pitches by Kyra Aycock on that outside corner. As a batter, you really don't want to swing at those, but they are strikes. They're on that very outside corner of the zone. Just great pitcher's pitches.
Ground ball to third. Tough play for Edwards. And Limbaugh will reach. I think Edwards had a hard time keeping a hold of that ball.
Yeah, that was a hot shot off the bat of Limbaugh. And I think Talon Edwards just kind of lost her grip on that one. I don't know how it got behind her back, but
so that's a single to third officially. Ball gets by Wong. Limbaugh will take second. So the single and then advance. So the tying runs at second now with 1 out. Linduff, the right fielder, calling that a pass ball on Wong. Fouled off, 1-1. So 1 out. You do have speed on at second. So you're looking the defense, the outfield way back. Keep everything in front. 1-1 pitch on the outside corner. 1-2. Look out there and you see the adjustments for the defense for Oklahoma State. That ball hit to left. That's going to be a base hit. The throw in. Great throw. Keeps runners at the corners now with 1 out.
A good piece of hitting here by Linduff, taking that pitch a little elevated and just punching it out into left field, and Scotland David doing a good job getting that ball in. Kansas in a good spot now with runners on the corners and only one out.
So Stafford, the freshman, will take over and run it first. Cadence will run for Linduff. He had the single. Yeah, Scotland David came up firing, tried to keep that run at third, and did a great job. Called strike to Moore. Moore, 1 for 3 with an RBI, had a single in the third. 0-1 pitch outside. No action in the Oklahoma State bullpen. Kilfoyle was warming up for a while. Thought there might be a chance she could come in and close the door here. 1-1 pitch outside, 2-1. Defense way back in the outfield. Infielders in. That ball fouled off. You get a ground ball up the middle. Potential to turn two. Obviously Moore really fast at the plate.
Yeah, the Oklahoma State defense is definitely going to be in the middle infielders, probably inside that baseline. Going to try to cut the run down at home if anything comes their way. And if a ball takes them up the middle, they have a good shot maybe to turn it.
Looks like we're going to review. Well, we have a review. I'm not sure. You know, in this spot, you're always guessing because you don't really know.
Exactly.
You almost feel like they need to give some kind of ruling. But the game has continued to stretch with all these reviews, and I mean, I don't know if they're looking at runner leaving early anyway.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be what they're looking at right now.
Well, Kansas just put a pinch runner and Stafford in the game, so and you could see off the bench you get an opportunity. It's late in the game. You're trying to get a good jump. My question is, how many coaches in the dugout are watching that? I mean, it's so bang bang, like 5 different people assigned to checking that.
There are definitely a few people in the dugout that are keeping a close eye on the runners, because if it's one of those situations, this is one of those situations right now where if they are leaving early, you're really going to need that out, and that's a huge momentum shift. And I mean, in this situation as a runner, you just have to be hyper aware with the review now that you can't risk that.
You know, and there's a few rule changes that they make that, okay, you know, this may affect the game a little bit. This one review change has affected a lot of games this year.
Exactly, and I think it's just really, you know, a big focus on the base runners not leaving early. In the past, you know, they told base runners to leave early. You're supposed to leave early. If you don't leave early, you're late. You know what I mean? You're not getting a good jump. But now with that review, you just have to be extra careful.
So the runner at first is safe after the review. So a 2-2 count. And what, you know, if you're the batter, more. I mean, that review, you just took 5 minutes where you were in and at bat. It's a 2-2 count. You took a nice little pause, and now you're back in it. That ball lined to first. Godwin makes the play. 2 down.
Wow, Lyric Moore just pieces this ball straight to Carly Godwin. She almost is able to get that double play, but Lyric Moore are all defenders.
First pitch to Kripe outside, ball one. Moore was hot because she hit that ball so hard.
As a hitter, it's so frustrating when you're in one of those, you know, times when every ball that you hit hard just seems to be right at somebody. But you really just have to stick with the process and keep doing what you're doing and know that those balls are going to get through at some point.
1-1 the count to Kripe. Kansas had that happen Wednesday at UMKC. I mean, they hit a ton of balls hard, but right at the defenders. 1-1 pitch from Aycock. Called strike, 1-2. And the fans know it, they can feel it. Cowgirls one strike away from winning this.
Cowgirl Stadium is super loud right now. Everybody on their feet, kind of.
The 1-2 pitch from Aycock in there for a called strike three, and the Cowgirls win 6-5. And Oklahoma State sweeps the doubleheader versus Kansas.
Playoffs on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN+.